Volvo Cars India has finally come with the S60. This is the T4 inscription, which would be the only variant available here in the country. In this video, I shall be exclusively talking about the key. Yes, it's quite an interesting story. The moment the Volvo car driver came to deliver the car at my house, he handed me a set of keys. Yes, plural. And it came in a nice little box like that. Now that's a handful of keys. Let me show that to you. The 2021 Volvo S60 car that I got to drive came with a set of remote keys and an ordinary key. One was black in color, one was orange, one was a slim looking fob which is a buttonless key, and then there was a separate metal key too. In this video I shall be explaining the different keys and the roles they play, apart from the fact that these keys lock and unlock the car doors and let you start the engine and drive the car. Before I go any further, let me tell you that the orange key is the care key, allowing any Volvo car buyer to set a speed limit for themselves, their family members or friends. The care key comes standard on all Volvo cars from model year 2021. Now let's start with the black key fob. It's the main remote key for the car. The key fob has tiny buttons for locking and unlocking the car and one button for opening the boot lid. Flip the car fob and you get to see on the other slim side a button meant for panic function. The company claims that this function is used to attract attention in an emergency. Press and hold the button for at least 3 seconds or press it twice within 3 seconds to activate the direction indicators and the horn. The function can be turned off with the same button once it has been active for at least 5 seconds. Otherwise, the function switches off automatically after 3 minutes. When you press the lock button, the remote key locks the doors, the boot lid and the fuel filler flap, and also arms the alarm. But if you were to press and hold the lock button, you're able to close all the windows and the panorama roof simultaneously. Pressing the unlock button means you unlock the doors, boot lid and the fuel filler flap, and also deactivates the alarm. A longer press of this unlock button opens all windows simultaneously. The total airing function can be used, for example, to quickly air the car in hot weather. Very convenient, is it not? The boot lid button unlocks and disarms the alarm for the boot lid only. The boot lid is opened mechanically by spring pressure using a long press. Both the black and orange keys also have a metal L-shaped key inside the fob. A tiny switch on the top needs to be pushed and the top cover with the Volvo logo slides up a bit. Now the cover of the key fob can be flipped open and inside you will notice the metal key or key blade. This key blade comes handy when the battery of this remote key is dead. The remote function stops working and the only way to unlock or lock the car is with the help of this key blade. It is here that there is an anomaly of sorts with the Volvo S60 available in India. This key has only one slot and that too on the left front door. This is because cars in most of the international markets are left-hand driven and hence the company fixed the only key slot on the left side door handle. The other doors have no slots or lock cylinders. Now let me tell you how to open the left-hand front door. You need to pull out the door handle to its end position so that the lock cylinder becomes visible. Insert the key in the lock cylinder. Turn clockwise 45 degrees so that the key blade is pointing straight back. Turn the key back 45 degrees to its starting position. Remove the key from the lock cylinder and release the handle so that the rear section of the handle is resting against the car again. Now you need to pull out the handle and the door opens. Locking will be performed in the same way but with an anti-clockwise turn 45 degrees instead of clockwise while opening the door. We did struggle a bit opening and closing the doors, but after several attempts, we did manage to get it right. Please bear in mind the key blade is only used when the remote key battery dies out and there is no help around for you to lock or unlock the doors. What happens when you manage to open the front left side door with the help of a key blade? Obviously, the car alarm sets off. You have to immediately put the remote key in the bottom of the cup holder in the tunnel console where there is a slot marked for it. The car recognizes its own key and stops screaming. The alarm is switched off. But what if it doesn't? Then you have to immediately start the car, and for that you will have to unlock the driver's side door and rush in from the other side to start the car.
So once you unlock the car, we are assuming that the car battery is perfect. But what happens if a car battery is dead? Then nothing functions. So how do you manage things? Just to make this video a little more interesting, I will tell you ways to get out of a tight corner when the car battery is dead. Once you unlock the car, get inside and you realize the car battery is dead, how do you charge it, or how do you get closer to the battery even if you have a set of jump cables with you? Let me explain that. So once I use the metal key, I get inside the car, I manage to open the bonnet. The moment you open the bonnet, you realize there's no battery around. The usual batteries we see sticking out, well, it's not there. So the battery in this S60 is basically in the boot area. Now, how do I jump start a battery when the terminals are not here? Well, the terminals are actually here. In fact, the red terminal and the other terminal are here. So you need to put those jump cables, fix it accordingly to the red and the other color, and jump start this car, and then you might be able to start this car. But suppose you want to get close to the battery when the car battery is completely dead. How do you do that? Because like I mentioned, it's in the boot area.
The boot cannot be opened without the main battery, as it does not have a key. To activate the kick gesture or the button, or even through the remote key, the car battery needs to be charged. So how does one get into the boot area to access the car battery? That can only be done through the rear seat space area, where there is a square-shaped window with a plastic cover which you get to see when you pull down the rear armrest. Unfortunately, this plastic cover can only be opened from inside the boot area. That is a catch-22 situation. But a situation like this warrants the services of a competent mechanic who can pry open this secret door and put his arm inside to unlatch the rear seat backrest and create a space for someone to manually replace the dead battery. It's extremely cumbersome, and it's a lot wiser and safer to start the car with a jumper cable and open the boot lid through the remote mechanism. But a lot of these problems regarding the boot area could have been solved if there was a slot for the key blade on the boot lid, like the one on the left side car door in front.
Now this is just a simple key that has nothing to do with the working or functioning of this car. It's basically a key to your glove box. So there, once you lock it, you can take the key out and your contents in the glove box will be safe. You keep it open. So this key has a very simple function. It's just confined to the glove box.
Coming to the key tag without buttons. The key tag provided with the keyless locking and unlocking function works in the same way as the standard remote control key as regards keyless starting and unlocking and locking. This key is waterproof to a depth of approximately 10 meters or 30 feet for up to 60 minutes. It has no detachable key blade and the battery cannot be replaced. Thus, this is the key which you can take when you go to the beach or for your swimming. The key tag remains in your swimming trunk and does not get damaged.
Now this is the fourth key, and this is the most colorful one. And this is not the primary key. It's very similar to the black key, except that this has a very unique function. And what it does is, it's not to be used as a main key, but a key to be given to either your son or daughter or a driver or someone whom you can check on. Well, how do you check on the person? With this key, you can set the speed limit of this vehicle. You can check the speed of this car. So let me just explain that a little more clear once I get inside. So let's check out its features.
To set the speed limit for this key, one has to go to the main menu of the touchscreen and press the settings function. The screen gives you the option of driver profile, and within that you get to set the speed limit. It can be anywhere between 50 km per hour to the maximum of 180 km per hour. If you were to set the speed limit at 50 km per hour, then no matter how much the driver accelerates, the vehicle speed does not go beyond the 50 odd km per hour speed limit mark. Now that you have understood the functions of the various keys, keep them safe and use them according to their well-defined roles.